har snakket med Peter. Peter en gammel mand. Han har ikke skudt en film i 10 år. Ikke jeg heller.
Jeg har skjønt at jeg vil bli fotograf.
Fotograf? Ja.
Det var en lettelse for Erik å endelig få bekreftet det han hadde mistenkt lenge. Han var fullstendig talentløs.
Altså, se på livet mitt, da. Jeg er 34 år, jeg har ingenting.
Can you bounce back from a failure in your 20s? Decide what you want from life at 30? Start over at 34? Make a new film in your 70s? These are dilemmas haunting the characters of Joachim Trier cinema. After 20 years of making feature films, the matter of self-doubt, societal pressures, and wasted potential remain at the center of the 50-year-old Scandinavian director. Trier's approach to these concerns, with humor at its center, have made his films into life-affirming anthems for a generation shaped by uncertainty.
Hør! Dere sa dere skulle redde meg, og alt dere gjorde var å jage meg inn i...
Sentimental Value begins with Nora mid-breakdown, an actress unable to go on stage, unless prodded by what they call in the theater, the Meisner technique.
Nå har jeg ikke tid.
Jo, vi rekker det. Nei, slutt. Vi rekker det. Klaps. Jeg kom meg ut av det.
Nei.
Ja, men jeg kom meg ikke på scenen. Jeg kom meg ikke på scenen.
Går det bra? Ja, faen altså.
With Sentimental Value, Renate Reinsve plays her second leading role in a Joachim Trier film following up the success of The Worst Person in the World. That film concludes a loosely defined trilogy that includes Reprise and Oslo 31st of August. At the center of all those films are characters that are perpetually on the edge of a breakdown.
Nå det begynner, ikke sant?
The trilogy begins with a prologue that, instead of describing what happened to our 20-odd aspiring writers, only details their expectations of success.
Manuskriptene ville ankommet forlaget, og de ville straks ha blitt antatt. Bøkene ville kommet ut følgende høst. Etter mange års hardt arbeid ville de endelig kunne kalt seg forfattere.
The subjective, literary voiceover is a filmic device of choice for Joachim Trier. An aspirational narrator is then replaced by an objective voiceover, which here describes how Eric and Philip were introduced to Sten Egil Dahl.
Sten Egil Dahl?
Erik og Philip oppdaget Sten Egil Dahl da de var 17. Philips far oppholdt seg på den tiden i et nervesanatorium på Vestlandet. Philips mor var mye sammen med ham der, og pengene hun ga til Philip til mat ble brukt på bøker og plate.
Sten Egil Dahl?
When Eric meets Dahl, a new, more subjective type of voiceover appears. Eric is anxious to make a good impression, but when an acquaintance ruins the meeting, we take in his disappointment via inner monologue.
Det slo Erik at fra dette øyeblikk så ville han og Mattis Wergeland være uløselig sammenknyttet til Sten Egil Dahls hukommelse.
The voiceover is only one of Trier's many filmic devices used to display characters' inner thoughts. In The Worst Person in the World, Julie lives reality. The world freezes, and she daydreams of an encounter with a new love interest. In Oslo 31st of August, Anders is a recovering addict at the end of the rope. His only obstacle seems to be his brain chemistry. We enter Anders' mind, not just through inner monologue, but through montage. Random conversations in a coffee shop trigger a sequence where he follows passers-by and imagine their lives. The montage shows us that his capacity to imagine life is limited by his depressive state.
Det står sånn på siden av livet mitt. At det bare en sånn birolle i mitt eget liv.
Unlike the young man of the trilogy, Julie has more than one thing in her crosshairs. She has a hard time nailing down what she wants her future to hold. When you first meet her, she's on a path to becoming a doctor. Multiple epiphanies later, she added aspiring therapist, writer, and photographer to her resume.
Jeg skulle ønske at jeg hadde hatt det du har hatt, og kunne sitte og tegne og ikke tvile, ikke ha noe tvil om at det du gjør det du skal gjøre.
Det skulle jeg ønske at jeg hadde.
Besides dealing with the professional indecisions of young adulthood, Julie carries the burden of becoming 30 as a woman.
Da Julies mormor var 30, var hun gift på 10. året, hadde 3 barn og spilte Rebecca West i Rosmersholm på Nationaltheatret. Da Julies oldemor Astrid Johanna, kalt Tulla, fylte 30, var hun enke og alene med 4 barn.
Så vi inte var ensam för alltid.
That burden is also carried by Nora, the daughter of Gustav Borg, the patriarchal filmmaker at the center of Sentimental Value.
Behöver någon bry dig om barn eller något?
Even with Borg, this is quite apparent. He's a filmmaker in his 70s, reliving his prime in meaningless retrospectives. The way he manages to stave off self-doubt is by transparent self-aggrandizing.
Och tror du att vi är ett par? Dokumentärer visas runt omkring och... Ja, det kommer iväg.
They are all quite self-doubting people, Trier said to IndieWire about his troubled heroes. There's a sense of ambition, or failed ambition, and insecurity about how to create purpose and meaning in their lives, while feeling stressed by a tremendous sense of expectation. After the Cannes premiere of Sentimental Value, Trier made a statement that has become a motto of sorts.
We didn't want to make zombie movies and stuff, but we realized through the films we've made that we've grown older and that the world is a tough place, and maybe we need, to be vulnerable and show characters that are vulnerable, men and women and everyone else. So I kind of came to the conclusion that, tenderness is the new punk. For me, it's...
Taken together, Trier's films argue that self-doubt is not a phase to outgrow, but a condition to be handled with care. Whether it's Eric collapsing after meeting his hero, Julie paralyzed by too many possible selves, Anders unable to imagine a future, or Gustav hiding his fear behind self-mythology, crisis is never simply failure. Trier's cinema suggests something quietly radical, that artists and people don't need harsher discipline or clearer answers, but patience, empathy, and permission to begin again, at 23, at 30, at 34, or even at 70.